I've reported on these things long enough, missing people long enough, and I just had no hope. Like, to me, it wasn't really even a question. She's just not going to be found. And I hate myself for that.
So you really had a strong feeling that it wasn't going to end well.
Yeah, it sounds awful, but there wasn't really much doubt in my mind. You could sense that, people were starting to, wonder who could have done this. Did someone do this in our community, or is it some stranger, So it almost felt like people started unconsciously, turning on each other. I think people were really confused. They just didn't understand how this could happen. Cleo is well known in the community. Her family is well known. No one believed that someone in the community could have taken her. So I think the hope was that she had just wandered off. But as the time went on, with each passing day and by the Friday, each passing hour, people got really, really desperate, and you could sense a shift from confusion to actual fear. I just remember standing in like this media scrum almost of like 10 other journos surrounding him. Cleo's campsite, just like 100 meters down the track. Everyone like was holding their breath when he said that. And I almost couldn't believe when he did say it, when he finally admitted, she couldn't have reached it. So you walk away from that press conference and you just know someone's taken her. Typically, when we go to any sort of press conference, police, they are the authority, and they give off this attitude that we know what we're talking about, we know what we're doing. And I'm not saying that that wasn't the case at all with Cleo. They had a plan and they followed it to the letter, but you could see on their faces and in their tone, especially in those early days, that they were like us, they did not understand. The fact that there were no leads early on, no sign of her, it just didn't make sense. And you could tell that they were frustrated. As the days went on, you could tell, especially some of maybe the younger officers who became quite emotionally invested as well, you could see the strain on that it was having and the toll it was taking. It's hard to watch like a seasoned veteran police officer, just sort of admit that there's just no sign of her. This is a complete mystery that we need to unravel. You do start to feel like you're doing the wrong thing, because you should be out there helping and looking for her. You should, and you're on the ground and you're doing your job. But what if she is just over that hill? What if I could be the one that makes this nightmare for this family end,
Why do you think people were so interested and so invested in finding out what happened?
We don't hear about these sort of stories very often. Like, kids in WA don't vanish out of the blue. It just made no sense. And so I think people got drawn in that way. And then when Ellie, Cleo's mum, started posting on social media to her daughter, not just to the public, but actually to her daughter, come home to me, that really played on people's emotions, and that drew people in further to the point where you start to get very heavily invested. The thing about Ellie, it was incredible to watch, was that she really gave the media, the public, everyone in Australia, even internationally, a sort of a front row seat into what she was going through her social media posts. And I think she did cop a bit of flack, which was horrible to watch, when those posts reached thousands of people, and it really helped fuel the public's interest in her missing daughter. It would have, led to many, many, many calls to Crime Stoppers. So I think what she did every other day, some days, several times a day, posting, calling out to her princess, her baby girl, where are you? I think it's incredible, and I think it would have been very, very hard to do, and I don't think people realise that.
Fueling the story, that's what the police wanted you to do.
100%. In a case like, Cleo's, you do really, you stand by what you're doing as a journalist. You know you're doing the right thing by being there, by drawing attention to the story, by raising public awareness. But at the same time, you don't want to encroach on what the family is going through. I'm a journalist, so I pick up my phone. That's the first thing I do in bed, scroll through Twitter, scroll through my emails, and I see an email and it just says, Cleo Smith found. And my heart sunk. It was in the bottom of, it was awful. I didn't even read the email. I was just like, this is not good. This is so sad. And I got very emotional. And then I clicked on the email and I read through it, and I read through the whole text, and I was like, wait, what? I don't understand. So I read it again. I read the whole email. It was a long email. I read it twice and found the line where it says, she's been found alive and well. And I thought it was a typo. I could not believe it. I really didn't. Even the other day we were trying to speak to someone, and we thought, there's no way that this person's going to talk to us, and I just said, well, you know what? Cleo Smith was found, so anything is possible now. And I do feel that. I know that now. And I wish I'd known that sooner in my career. But I'm pretty lucky, and I feel very privileged to have been able to report on that and have gained this new, outlook.
So it would be fair to say it has changed your whole outlook on life and changed how you look at everything?
100%. I still cover very serious crime, so I'm not saying, everything is rainbows and daisies, and I understand this is still a very sensitive and emotional story. But the fact that she was found alive is something that I truly did not think was going to happen, and I'm slightly ashamed now to say it, but it's just the honest truth. So I do go into it, into most stories now, especially when there's kids involved, thinking, God, they're really strong. They're so resilient. Our police force is amazing. The Carnarvon community, oh my goodness, the way they rallied around these people. Again, it really does instill so much hope inside of you, and so much, it's so inspiring. Yeah, like I said, I would just love to meet her, because hearing those words from her, I don't think that just anyone could, announce my name is Cleo just like that. I think it was really beautiful. I just want to give her a little hug if she lets me, and there's nothing I can say to her. I just want to meet her, because she seems like an incredible little girl.
So there's probably a message in it for everybody, really.
Yeah, anything is possible now. Anything. Cleo's found, anything is possible.